I'm Sarah Kuhn. I write a blog called INFJ Woman, and I host a podcast called The Quiet Ones. I'm on a mission to help you become the best version of yourself, to be wholly and unapologetically you, to be you. Every week on my Instagram stories, I take questions about INFJs or self-acceptance, self-love, anything that you want to ask me a question about. In this video, you're going to see a collection of random questions that are the best ones from this week. If you have a question that you'd like to ask me, you can submit it through the comments below this video, and I will answer it in a future video and link the video back to you so that you can see it. Lauren Sapala and I talked about this on the podcast episode that I did with her. And she said that yes, we're more prone to anxiety. I feel like we could be more prone to depression too, just because of the way that we think about things. I know a lot of INFJ. Any type is a good type if you are both mature enough. Mixed signals, I'm the wrong person to ask, honestly. I'm more of an upfront and honest type of person, and if they're not feeling it, then I don't waste my time. I think it comes back to self-love. It definitely does for me. A lot of us aren't really taught how to accept compliments, and so we think, oh, that can't be true, rather than just saying, thank you, I appreciate that. I understand exactly how you feel, and a lot of that comes from us as INFJs having really high expectations, and we compare what other people do to what we would have done in the same situation, and they don't match up. So try to meet them with understanding. I've never worked with another INFJ in that kind of a setting, but I feel like you're the best person to know what they like and what they don't like and how to communicate with them. And certainly be open with them. Have a conversation. It could be. I can be very pessimistic at times. When I was struggling with depression, a lot of people called me lazy. And it wasn't because I wanted to be lazy. It was because I physically could not do things. So it could be. It's really a matter of opinion. I mean, people have different opinions. I tend to be drawn to INFPs more, but a lot of people will tell you that it's an ENTP. I wrote something on it. If you hate it, you should do something else. That was the hardest decision for me to make. It's still a difficult decision now to go down a path that you hate, but you should definitely do something else. I did a podcast episode where we talked about it. Yeah, I think it's time for you to find a new job or maybe start your own business. I'm going to be talking a lot more about starting your own business. So yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, I feel you. I've been there. I've been there for both of those things, and it's rough. I got another question about INFJs being short-tempered. As much as I don't want to admit it, yes, that does happen to me. I think the best thing that we can do is to try to come from a place of understanding and empathy, and to try to just understand the whole situation, and that maybe the person who's lashing out at us, maybe they're going through something, maybe they didn't mean what we thought that they meant, because a lot of the times I get mad based on my interpretation of what somebody said, not actually what they said. So I would start with that. And then I would ask myself, is it really true? Is it 100% true? Am I sure of that? And then the next question I would ask is, how would I act if I didn't feel like they were trying to be mean to me? And see what happens with that. If you want to learn more about the INFJ personality type, make sure that you sign up for my weekly email newsletter. There's a link for it in the video description. No, there is nothing. You should not take that advice. That's horrible, terrible, awful advice. There's nothing wrong with your personality. You are perfect just the way that you are. You were made that way for a reason, and you shouldn't have to change for anybody. I don't know why they gave you that advice, but that's one of the things that gets me so fired up, because I hate it when people tell me that I need to be different, that I'm not enough just the way that I am. Just because I'm not bubbly and outgoing and, you know, super over the top friendly, just because I'm not magnetic at first, doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you either. Even if your career is in an outgoing career like marketing, I've spent 10 years in marketing and I'm not friendly or outgoing. Normally, I can be that way. It costs me a lot of energy to be that way, but that's not normally how I am. But like I said, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. In fact, there's something wrong with that other person who's telling you that you need to be different, that you're not perfect just the way that you are. That's wrong. And I would get as far away from that person as possible if it were me. No, I don't think it's weird. It's probably would depend on how you present it and how you approach it. If it's some fun thing that you think that they should do, that would probably be fine. I like to know what other people's personality is. Yes, absolutely, it's possible. So first of all, you have to figure out what your purpose is. And your purpose comes from your pain. So think about the most difficult emotional pain that you've been through in your life, and how did you get out of it? You can help other people get out of it too. I would encourage you to start with finding your purpose, and your purpose comes from your pain. What's the worst emotional pain that you've been through in your life? How did you solve that? How did you get out of that? That's what you should be doing with your life. I have a free guide. The T means turbulent. If you look on the 16 Personalities website, that would tell you the difference between the A and the T. But I know that the T means turbulent, which is like more anxious. And the A is more calm. I can get along with anybody. I don't know that I have any ISTJs in my life. One of my friends from work might be, actually. I forget what he said his personality type is. So, yeah, we can. Anything by Byron Katie. Start there. The book that I have that I'm reading right now is called I Need Your Love. Is that true? It's a great place to start. And I just bought another one. I don't know the title of it, though. I think it would be a good match if you're both mature enough to understand each other's wants and needs and weaknesses as well. It really just depends on the people. I wrote something about ideal type match. Yes, for sure. I'm very much independent, but also I can be very clingy with my friends and with my significant other. I think some of it comes from us not having a lot of friends and just clinging to, all the time. I never expected that there would be 90,000 people who listen to my podcast ever. When I first started, it wasn't that many. And when I first started, there wasn't very many people who read my blog either. But I measured the accomplishment not by the people who read my blog or who listen to my podcast, but I measure my accomplishment whether I post a blog post or whether I record a new podcast. And to me, that feels a lot better because I don't have to worry about how many people are listening to it or reading it. All I have to worry about is whether or not I did it. And the more that you push through those feelings of doubt and negativity and imposter syndrome, the more that your message will resonate with more people. And the more you'll be willing to put out there, and the more people will see it, and the more people that you'll be able to help. So I encourage you to keep going, even though people aren't listening to it. They will. They'll come. Make it and they will come. Not really. I don't really think about it that way. I spend more time thinking about what I'm going to do next, what's my next project, how am I going to work through some of the things I'm going through right now. I don't feel bad that I'm an INFJ. I haven't found the perfect romantic partner, but I do have a lot of really good friends who I feel like are in my life for a reason, and they're really, really good friends. So I'm sure that love is out there too. I have definitely had and do have some intolerance, mostly to people who annoy me, people who are lazy, who want to talk a big game but don't want to do anything. I don't like those kind of people. We feel things very deeply, and I think as far as love goes, we tend to jump in really quickly too. Even though we like to say that we're reserved, maybe we are reserved with our feelings, but with our outward feelings, we jump in with our inward feelings. If your friends are excluding you from things, it's not your fault, it's their fault. And maybe you need better friends. The people that you surround yourself with will have a huge impact on how you feel and how you act. So maybe you just need people who inspire you. I would ask you, do you really want to do the things that are on your list to do? Because if you're not excited to get them done, the answer is probably no. So maybe reevaluate what it is that you want to get done and see where that takes you. I completely understand what you're talking about. The best thing that I can tell you is to reach out to a dating coach. There's a wonderful one that I've interviewed on my podcast and has written a blog post for me. Her name is Sarah. She would be a great person to talk to. Thank you. My biggest fear is letting people down, disappointing people. I really don't want to do that. I want to show up and be of service to as many people as I can. And I hate that thought of not being able to do that. I don't always feel like a good counselor either, but when you're determining your personality type, you have to look at the whole picture, not just one aspect. You can't just say, well, I'm not really good at counseling, so I can't be an INFJ. You have to look at everything combined. The best thing that you can do is to find some other like-minded people. I've met so many INFJs through my Instagram, through my Facebook group. That's where I find a lot of my friends. And it makes a whole difference when they're INFJs. Do you mean type A as in very organized, energized, go-getter type of person? I don't know. I'm sort of like that, but not always 100%. It kind of depends on my mood. It's really up to you. You know, you have to decide that you're going to focus forward and not let them ruin your present and your future. They've already made a big issue with your past, right? Are you going to let them continue to ruin your life now? You're very welcome. I'm so happy to know that I can help somebody, even if it's just one person. I'm so happy to know that. Yes, I would say start with self-care. Start with compassion and understanding. A lot of times we don't give ourselves those things. Maybe you just need some time to do nothing, and that's totally fine. That's acceptable. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I think a lot of the reason, I mean for me especially, is that I don't have a lot of friends. So when I'm going through something, I want to be close to my close friends, and there's only just 2 or 3 of them, maybe. That's probably why. A lot of INFJs have this all or nothing thing going on. I know I certainly do. And the best way that I've been able to work through it is to do things little by little. And it's really difficult and it feels weird and uncomfortable, but it actually works really, really well. You just have to do it. You have to challenge yourself to make it happen. Maybe take some small steps. Spend just a little bit of time outside every day, even if it's only 5 minutes. And then build up to going to new places and meeting new people. I don't think that I have any ESTP in my circle right now. I don't really know how to deal with them. I would say the best thing to do is start with understanding. Try to understand where they're coming from and how they process emotions. The sensing function is all about tapping into the here and now. So do something that keeps you present. Something like fingerpainting or something dirty and messy that you wouldn't normally do. Because you're an INFJ, that's why. Because we have extroverted feeling, which means that we are more concerned about other people's emotions than we are our own. You can definitely set boundaries and figure out how to not absorb his emotions. You should take the personality test. You can take it for free at 16personalities.com. And then what you should do is read the descriptions. So if you have like 50% I and 50% E, read the descriptions of both of them and see which one fits you more. Yes, I have a very unhealthy attachment style. I really forget what it was. I was trying to remember, and I feel like it's not anxious, but it's something that's like that. It's like I'm kind of detached, very independent. I don't know how to fix it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you check out these other amazing videos that I have that are all about INFJs, INFJ traits, the INFJ personality, everything that you want to know about INFJs. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button as well so that you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching again, and we will see you again soon.